Welcome back. What a beautiful evening it's going to be. Sun's in my eyes, but that's okay. We'll just muddle through this. Come on, girl. Give it a try, please. Do it for me. Come on, girl. I was kneeling on the floor in the exam room, along with Vet Tech Katie, eye to eye, nose to snout, with a very stubborn, "Is that you? Do you think you're a stubborn girl? Oh, yes, you are." And reluctant Sadie, who utterly, absolutely, unequivocally refused to follow my commands. "Please, Sadie, for me," I begged. The normally relaxed, calming mood of the room, with its low-level lighting, gentle music, and warm, subtle aroma of essential oils wafting above our heads, was today rife with tension and an uneasy stalemate continued between mom and dog. It was Sadie's first time trying the walking wheels from Joni Wilcox, and she made it absolutely abundantly clear, Sadie did, that she wanted nothing to do with this contraption, even though it was a lightweight, streamlined piece of equipment. Everyone else uses it, why not you? The two wheels were situated on the back, along Sadie's legs, and the aluminum frame that bracketed the outside of her torso was attached via canvas and Velcro straps that circled her back and chest. "Come on, Sadie, give it a try," I pleaded, gently grasping her shoulders and tugging her forward. "I promise it'll be just like you're walking again." She whined in response and then collapsed her front legs beneath her body, staunchly locking them into place as her back end shot straight up into the air. There would be no moving her now. "Why are you doing this to me?" I moaned. I felt that if my beautiful, compliant, good-natured dog had suddenly transformed into a defiant toddler, mired deep in the depths of the terrible twos. "Well, I don't think it's hurting her," Katie, the tech, offered, crossing her legs and tucking her long brown hair behind her ear. "I don't think so either," I agreed, sitting back on my heels and shaking my head. "I don't think Sadie's in pain. It's more like she finds the wheels humiliating or something." "Maybe it's just uncomfortable because she hasn't stood up and walked for so long," Katie suggested. "Maybe she's not familiar with those sensations anymore." "Well, that could be it," I replied, scratching my chin. "I figured the wheels would take some getting used to, and she might not take to them right away." I added, not trying to sound as disappointed as I felt. My plan was to put Sadie in the wheels twice a week for 30 minutes at a time and build up her usage from there as she got stronger and more comfortable with the device. But Sadie was letting us know that only after a few minutes that she had clearly had enough for today. And that's the way it is with Sadie. What's going on with her is that people ask, "Hey, do you have wheels for her?" And I'll say, "Well, yes, I do. We have 2 sets of wheels for her, but she doesn't like either one." So what we're all thinking is we all don't like some form of exercise, and the wheels are just not for Sadie. She's not doing it. Hey, she's not doing it. No way, no how, and she refuses. So after all this time, we are just going to let it go, and we're just going to let her do her own thing. So there's the answer to your question. Does Sadie have a wheelchair? Yes, but she refuses to use it. So there you go. Thanks so much again for listening, and we'll be back sooner than you think. Thank you. Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us again. I think Sadie's kind of pooped out today, but that's okay. Everyone can't be exuberant like she always is. So this reading is going to be very profound. I have to tell you, it's something I will never forget. We're talking about Noah here. And Sadie met Noah at Jammin' on Janesville. And Noah was a towering African-American man in his mid-30s with a muscular build and trim mustache and beard. His deep-set dark brown eyes looked lost and vacant, filled with inexpressible sorrow. I sensed immediately that Noah had some special needs and would do better in a more private setting, engaging with Sadie one-on-one without all the noise and commotion of the street fair. So leaving Marnette to man our station, I pulled Sadie in her wagon to a quiet, shady corner besides the clinic and away from the road, with Lisa and Noah following close behind. You just want to listen, don't you? All right, I'll just read to you. Got it. Hello, Noah. I'm Joelle, I said, looking into his eyes and smiling once he had found a good spot to talk. I lifted Sadie out of her wagon and laid her in the grass. Then I sat down beside her and motioned to Noah to sit as well. This is Sadie, I said gently. She likes it when you pet her. See? I ran my hand over Sadie's head and down her back to demonstrate. Shyly at first, Noah reached out and patted Sadie's head, then touched her head again and let his hand rest there for a moment longer. For her part, Sadie, mesmerized, looked right at Noah, staring into his haunted brown eyes with a kind of recognition as she drank in his attention. As Noah and Sadie bonded, Lisa sat down in the grass beside me and told me Noah's story. Everyone has a story. 6 years earlier, Noah had been working for a defense contractor in Iraq. This just absolutely gives me goosebumps. At the height of the Iraq War, where he suffered a traumatic brain injury after being shot by a sniper. Noah had been riding in a truck as part of a convoy when a bullet from an AK-47 entered through his right ear and ended up lodged deep in the center of his brain where it could not be removed. Noah was flown back to the U.S. on life support and not expected to survive, Lisa continued. He had multiple surgeries and infections, too many to count. He still has some right side paralysis and language issues, but he has learned to walk again and his speech is improving. He's made amazing progress, but he still has a really long and rough road ahead of him, Lisa explained. And she told us that she was a registered nurse who owned a place called Acres of Hope and Aspirations, a small farm and rehabilitation center nearby, where Noah was just one of the many people she was working with to overcome injuries, brain injuries, and disabilities. With tears in my eyes, I excused myself for a moment and went to get Marnette from the booth out front, telling her she had to come and see what I was seeing. When we returned to the quiet space beside the building, Sadie was stretched out in the grass between Lisa and Noah. Lisa, arms circling her knees, was beaming, and Noah, this gentle giant of a man, oh, I'll never forget this, who had endured so much, was petting Sadie very gently from head to tail and speaking soft words that only the two of them could understand. Two damaged, troubled souls had reached out, each finding healing in the other. This is absolutely incredible, I whispered to Marnette, shaking my head as the goosebumps rose, as they are right now, and chill danced down my spine. Noah was shot in the head and had to learn to walk again. Sadie was shot in the head and is learning to walk again. They have a bond. It's like they speak the same language, like they understand each other. That's because they do understand each other, Marnette insisted. I told you a few days ago that I believe Sadie was sent to us for a reason. I think we're seeing that reason in action right here and now. This is Sadie's gift to the world. There is no limit to what she can achieve. She smiled warmly and gave me a knowing wink. but it's up to us to make that happen. And we want to thank you for making it happen. It is without you that none of this could have ever occurred. So we want to tell you again, Saving Sadie, how a dog no one wanted inspired the world. Also, the Pocket Edition is available at Walmart and Sam's Club and other stores. And many of you out there speak Spanish. Spanish edition is available at Amazon ES. Different cover, you'll recognize it anywhere. So Saving Sadie, how a dog no one wanted inspired the world, available everywhere books are sold. Thank you so much again. Stay tuned.